by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushua, Bahashem, Rukakodash, and double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rokoyer from the GMS Orlando camp, and tonight's lesson is going to be entitled, Esau Showed No Mercy, and Neither Will the Lord. All right, Esau, the so-called white man, all right, showed no mercy, and neither will the Lord. All right, now, tonight I just have a couple of articles that I wanted to get into, just diving into a few of the many atrocities that were committed against our people. All right, the Israelites, which today consists of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, all right, that still have to be paid for. And through the spirit, a part of the gospel, or a part of this truth, is the understanding that we ourselves, as the hopefully elect of the nation of Israel, all right, are not going to exact vengeance, all right, on our enemies. Rather, the perfect vengeance is going to be gotten by our Lord, Yahweh Shah Mashiach. All right, because there's no anger, there's no power, there's no sheer dominance that we can show ourselves that is going to put the proper fear into these nations, all right, outside of the power, dominance, and majesty of Yahweh Shai. I just have a couple of precepts I want to get into tonight. Lord willing, this is edifying unto you elect. I found these, ran across these articles earlier, in the day, going into a couple of jakes that I didn't know about, recently. I've never known about, until it was brought out. And this is from the abhmuseum.org, and it's entitled Murdered in Abbeville, October 21st, 1916. It says, my great-great-grandfather, Anthony P. Crawford, was born January 1865 and owned by Ben and Rebecca Crawford in Abbeville, South Carolina. It says, he walked 14 miles round trip to and from school each day and proved to be quite a scholar. When Anthony finished school, he was a laborer for Ben Crawford until Thomas Crawford, Anthony's father, died in 1893 and deeded some land to Anthony, who was the only one of 9 siblings able to sign his own name. Anthony Crawford was lynched in 1916 in Abbeville, South Carolina, by a crowd estimated to be between 200 and 400 bloodthirsty Edomites. All right, and when you speak about, these public lynchings that took place, not only here in the Americas, but, wherever our people were enslaved, but chiefly here in America. All right. This was oftentimes a public spectacle. All right. Something that, either the whole community came out and watched, or you had people, from all over, hundreds of Edomites, watching, gathered together just to watch one Israelite hang, and be tortured. All right. And these are the same people, who the 2/3 of our people, and the misguided of those of our people as well, these are the same people who they fight to save. The same people that were gathering around their ancestors, our ancestors, and possibly ourselves, watching them get lynched, watching them get tortured to death. It says, estimated between 200 and 400 bloodthirsty Edomites. And this is the common Edomite. This is your average Joe Schmo. You know, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, you know, they weren't present during these public lynchings. All right, the average Joe Schmo, all right, was present. All right, taking pictures, making postcards, screaming, advocating for more torture. All right, these are the people, all right, excuse me, who predominantly took, who predominantly, all right, were in attendance, you know. And I want to get this in Nahum, the 1st chapter and the 3rd verse, all right, because all this is going to be answered for. You know, none of this is going to go unchecked. The Lord's not going to let, you know, Esau slide off into the sunset, you know, with all the atrocities that he's committed. All right, contrary to popular belief, all right, the so-called white man will not receive salvation. And put it further than that, Esau, the Edomites, will not receive salvation. Thus saith the Lord, thus saith the Bible. There's nowhere in the Bible where you can read about salvation, all right, that will come to the Edomites or any other heathen nation for that matter. You know, but chiefly the so-called white man, Esau, Edom. All right, this is Nahum 1 and 3. The Lord is slow to anger and great in power, and will not at all acquit the wicked. The Lord hath his way in the whirlwind and in the storm, and the clouds are the dust of his feet. Let's get that in the NLT. Excuse me. This is Nahum 1 and 3. The Lord is slow to get angry, but his power is great, and he never lets the guilty go unpunished. All right, the Lord's power is great, man. All right, and the guilty will never go unpunished. All right, let me get this as well to link up with that. I'm going to be Sirach or Ecclesiasticus, chapter 16. And 13. It says, the sinner shall not escape with his spoils, and the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated. All right. And this Edomite, man, is not going to escape with his spoils, man. All right, his chief spoil being the nation of Israel. All right, the so-called white man is not going to escape with his spoils. All right, rather, the patience of the godly is not going to be frustrated. All right, the Lord's going to purchase back his prized possession. All right, he's going to take back his prized possession. All right, through sheer dominance and through the calamity, all right, that's getting ready to take place in the planet Earth. All right, and chiefly when he cracks those clouds, all right, it comes with the holy host, with that sheer power and magnificence, man. It says, the sinner shall not escape with his spoils, and the patience of the godly shall not be frustrated, man. All right, this man not going to escape with his spoils, man. All right, he thought he spoiled the world. And he thought he has everything, man. Now that he's taken our nation. Now that the Lord has allowed him to overtake our nation. He believes that he has everything in his grasp, in which he seemingly does. But the Lord has this nigga in a trick bag. All right, because his blessing was the sword. All right, but his father, all right, didn't tell him that as you live by the sword, you shall die by the same. All right, and right now the sword is being prepared for 2/3 of the nation of Israel. All right, as well as the so-called white man himself. He's sharpening the blade for his own destruction. Because the very same devices and the very same trump card being the ICBM nuclear missiles, all right, that he plans on using to instill fear into the nations, into our nation chiefly, all right, into bowing to his image. he's going to fall by himself. But going back to Nahum 1 verse 3, the Lord is slow to get angry, but his power is great, and he never lets the guilty go unpunished. All right, and that's a comfort. All right, understanding that the guilty is not going to get away, man. All right, the so-called white man is not going to continue to seemingly win. Eventually, every dog has his day. All right, and this nigga's coming up on his. Because right now, the table is being prepared for us, or the hopefully elect, right before the eyes of our enemies, like it says in the book of Psalms. All right, our table is being prepared. Plenteousness is being made ready. All right, the Lord has restored us back into our true spirit. Lord willing, way to elect. The Lord has returned us back into this knowledge. All right, he's returned the spirit back unto us. He's returned our sense of duty, our vigor. All right. He's galvanized our spirit with these prophecies, man, with the words, these dark sayings. All right. These parables. All right. He's given us a body. He's given us a ministry to grow, to facilitate growth. All right. To harden ourselves, to fortify ourselves for the day to come. He's given us the mind to understand, to comprehend, to keep these secrets. All right. As well as a mind to understand the enemy, to decipher prophecy. The table is being prepared, man. He's given us the spirit to speak boldly against our enemies, the words of truth. The guilty is not going to escape, man. Matter of fact, the guilty is being brought up on the charges right now. All right, every single week in and week out, day in and day out, the so-called white man is being brought up on his charges against humanity, against the world, man. This nigga has destroyed the whole world. And this is not just speaking. You know, we're not just disgruntled Negroes. All right, when you trace everything back to the source, all right, let's just alleviate all bullshit. Let's speak real. Let's just get down to the skinny. All right. When you trace everything back to the source, the root cause of evil and wickedness in this world is Esau Edom, the so-called white man, starting with his elites. All right. When you read the book of Malachi, the first chapter, in the third verse, it describes Esau as being the border of wickedness, the wicked. All right. When you speak about a border marks the beginning and the end of something. And Esau is the beginning and the end of wickedness, man. They raise hell about our people selling these drugs, which is wrong. All right. But these pharmaceutical companies, all right, sell far more drugs to intoxicate and to zombify not only people, but nations, countries. This man gets on our people about, you know, the same nation violence, black on black crime, Hispanic on Hispanic crime, native on native crime. All right. But when you look at, you know, the source of their actions, it stems from Esau Edom. Esau is the original gangster. He's the original thug. He's the original nigga when it comes to his eye being evil against his brother. All right, let's look at World War I and II. May I reiterate, let's look at World War I and II. His skirmishes amongst his nation, all right, brought the whole world into a war. Whereas Jake fight over blocks and streets, which is still wicked. But the point being, all right, the Lord is slow to anger and great in power and will not at all quit the wicked. All right. And this will be answered for. All right. It says, excuse me, his car, you might ask. tracing a white man for offering him a low price for the cotton seed he was trying to sell and being too rich for a Negro. His ordeal lasted all day. So these hangings, these lynchings, it wasn't just string him up, you know, kick the board from up under him, snapped his neck, he's done. You know, let's untie him and let's get on. This was an all-day affair. You parade him around, you embarrass him, torture him, make him feel the pain, make his brethren watch, get pictures, eat, hang him up, string him up, let him sit there for hours, begging for his life, crying. Then once all hope is gone, you give him a little bit of hope. Give him a little bit of hope, and then you snatch that right back. Then after the day is gone, after everybody's had their fun, now, we can kick the board from up under his feet. Let him hang. Oh, but wait, we didn't tie the knot right, so his neck doesn't immediately snap. Now he suffocates to death. This is an all-day affair. And you believe that the Lord is going to let this go unchecked? I tell you nay. I tell you nay. This is Isaiah 14, verse 21. Prepare slaughter for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers, that they do not rise, nor possess the land, nor fill the face of the world with cities. All right, and slaughter is being prepared for the children, all right, of these wicked Edomites. Because in a sense, we are our forefathers. And these are the same devils coming back in reincarnation. The same ones, all right, who had fun, who made an all-day ordeal out of the slaughter and the torturing of our people. These are the same niggas. They just were rebirthed into a better situation. But these are the same niggas, same ones. And slaughter is being prepared, all right, for his children, for the iniquity of their fathers. Because their fathers seem to have got away with it. But the Lord is bringing that judgment right back around like a ring. Like he says in 2nd Esdras, I believe that's the 4th chapter. All right, the Lord's judgment is likened unto a ring. Everything always comes full circle. And the so-called white man's judgment is coming full circle. You niggas did this to our people. You did this shit. You will have to pay for it. Thus saith the Lord. I don't give a damn about what Negro, what sellout Negro, Latino, or Native American has to say about you slithering into salvation. The scriptures speak nothing about that. From the old to the new, salvation has always been for the nation of Israel. And from the old to the new, the Lord has always had a bone to pick with you Edomites. And now and in these latter days, he's going to relieve himself on your nation. He's going to relieve that vengeance, that fury on your nation. You're done. You're finished. It's nothing you niggas can do anymore. All right, the Lord is coming to tear you niggas up, man. Believe that. This is the second article I had, but I ain't going to read too much of it. This is from aaregistry.org. And this is dated Tuesday, 1958, 10/28. It says, excuse me. It says 9-year-old James Thompson and 7-year-old David Simpson, pictured above. The kissing case occurred on this date in 1958. This was the arrest, conviction, and lengthy sentencing of two preteen Israelite boys in Monroe, North Carolina. In late October 1958, Sissy Marcus, a 7 or 8-year-old Edomite girl, told her mother she had kissed 9-year-old James Hanover Thompson and 7-year-old David Fuzzy Simpson on their cheeks. She had seen them while with other children and recognized James as a friend from earlier childhood. The two had played together when James accompanied his mother to her work as a domestic for the Marcus family. The boys were Israelites. When Sissy told her mother, Bernice Marcus, about the encounter, the woman became enraged and washed her daughter's mouth with lye. All right, you so-called white women, all right, have been one of the sole proprietors when it comes to the destruction of our nation, chiefly the men of our nation, man. And you niggas ain't gonna escape either. You're responsible for a lot of debauchery and wickedness that takes place in the earth. One of the main ones being this whole feminist movement, women's rights movement. You started this garbage. And now the world is in shambles as a result. All right, the whole dynamic between man and woman is in shambles. Women can't even tell you what a woman is today, because the so-called white woman, all right, wanted to leave her household, gain authority over her man, establish a foothold in her society, and she dragged the Negro, Latino, or Native American woman along with her for the ride, propelling herself to the top, all the while still keeping you Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans right where you need them. You'll be above your man, but you're not above us. Which caused a whole lot of more problems we can get into. But we don't have the time for that. It says, she called the police and accused the boys of raping her daughter. Local officials detained the two young boys, who were arrested, and refused to allow them to see their parents or legal counsel for a week. And we're talking about 7 and a 9-year-old boy being accused of GRAPE, man. Knowing damn well these boys weren't doing that. And on top of that, they held them in the prison house for a week without parental contact. So they're in the cell, locked up, no parents to talk to, 7 and 9-year-old boys, scared to death. Don't know what's getting ready to happen to them. You know, it's a fulfillment of the curses in Deuteronomy the 28th chapter, man. The Lord said we should have no assurance of life. And our existence here in America, Babylon the Great, and wherever we're scattered, all right, is a prime example of that precept. But moving on, it says, police beat the boys and threatened them with more injury to extract confessions. After being jailed for 3 months, the boys were charged by juvenile judge Hampton Price and convicted of malice. You see it. Price sentenced them to reform school until the age of 21. During this time, no judge from North Carolina would overrule Price. The local KKK burned crosses in front of the boys' families' houses, and some people shot at the houses. The Monroe chapter was strong and estimated 7,000 Klan members attended a meeting near Monroe, a city with a population of only 12,000. So the remaining people of that city, which it was more Klan members than it was fucking regular citizens. It says, let's see. They finally got released early 1959 after they had been there for 3 months. Yeah. So, you see it, and we went through it. All right, briefly. The Lord's not going to quit this Edomite for what he's done. All right, Esau showed no mercy, and neither will the Lord. All right, the Lord's not going to show no mercy to these devils, man. All right, the Lord is going to exact vengeance on the so-called white man. All right, for us. All right, perfect vengeance. This is Amos chapter 1 and verse 11. Thus saith the Lord, for 3 transgressions of Edom, and for 4, I will not turn away the punishment thereof, because he did pursue his brother with the sword, and did cast off all pity, and his anger did tear perpetually, and he kept his wrath forever. All right, this man kept his wrath forever. He casted off all pity. All right, he slayed the old, the young, the aged, the newborn, the freshly formed in the stomach. He didn't give a damn. He had no mercy, which he shouldn't have, because that's the devil that the Bible speaks of. But the thing that he wasn't counting on was that he was going to have to pay for what he did, for what he's doing. He didn't count on that. But the elect are here to remind him, all right, that the tab is coming up, that our Lord is coming back. And when he does, which is going to be soon, you niggas are in trouble. You already in trouble, but you going to be fucked up when the Lord returns. Then I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahushua, Bahashim, Rakakodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who well. Grace and peace to you elect around the 4 winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Shalom. Stay up.